are people practicing centering prayer? How often are you practicing? It's like there's so much that is out of our control, and that we must let go of,
Oh,
because
okay.
we have to nurture the love and show why centering prayer is so important and what it does. But then we have to let it go, the expectations of how, because there's only some, because then it becomes something to cling to worry about, and then it becomes technical. And then the pressure gets translated into the sits, and it becomes a task versus a prayer, a call, a call to prayer, a call to community. There's something that it takes away from, and from my observation. And so having that conversation of saying, we do what we can, we lay the foundation, we plant the seed, we water it ever so often, but then let God do the rest, let Spirit do the rest. And we have to learn to let go. So as facilitators, when they come into those spaces, it's really about being fully present to there and then, and letting the burden off themselves, but also off the group, because it will happen. When we must trust Spirit to do the rest of the work, I feel. But sometimes it's important that maybe they know it, but they need that reminder, because it's easy to forget when you become outcome and kind of, I want to measure the impact I'm having. It's not, maybe not so much in this space, because you have to have faith that the impact is there. It will happen. It is happening. And it's not always we see it. It's really becomes a personal journey. It becomes, we are now walking in solidarity with those people, but we're not kind of like, well, this is how you must do it, right? Because really there's no right way, or wrong way of doing it. And maybe finding that kind space to give permission for whatever it is, just allow, like, again, nurture the space and allow the rest to happen, but let go. Let go of the pressure on yourself, but let go of what you think you should be accomplishing there and then, because there's a lot that happens, but you may never know, but it is happening. It's just, again, that's why you encourage the practice.
Suppose you go to a place and there's a centering prayer set going on. You may or may not be the facilitator, but then a jackhammer starts going off a block away, and you can tell that everybody is listening to the jackhammer. Well, if you just go back to your sacred word, you're not getting drawn in or attached to it. And just that vibration in your body of not being attached is going to go out to the other people in the room.
Yes,
That kind
that's
of
part
thing.
of it. And it's also this, it's like, think about it in this way, right? Say you're an evangelist and your goal is to go and evangelize and to talk about, to talk about Jesus, let's say. And then you go into spaces and you expect everybody to proclaim Jesus as a Lord and Savior. Now, people may not. And then you feel like you're a failure because they're not. But that doesn't mean people don't believe and they're not, like, they don't have this faith and practice and all. So it's really for the facilitators more so, as even for people, but the facilitators who are judging themselves and judging their community of how, and keep asking, like, how many people are doing centering prayer? How is this affected? It's like, no, you come into the space and you nurture it and you do the work and then you let it be. Do not hold on to pressuring yourself and others about tangible outcomes, because it is happening. It's really just teaching people what centering prayer is, what it is, and encouraging the practice and giving all the tools that they need. And then you have to let it go.
That reminds me of my attitude toward my group. So when I was sensitive to numbers, some weeks, a lot of people are coming, some weeks, few people are coming. And depending on the numbers, as a facilitator, I feel like judged. Okay, this is good or this is bad. So my bottom line is that my wife is joining with me. So if you and I are there, that's enough. If nobody shows up, it's fine. You and I, for us, this is a great place. That's bottom line. If one person comes, that's bonus. So forget about all the numbers. Just for us. If people are more coming, that's blessing. Less coming, that's another blessing. Just forget about numbers and then capability to create the space and practice together. And yes, consent to God and action. That's bottom line calling. So that gives me freedom, not being sensitive to the numbers and how others see this meeting. Just to be there as you letting go and continue to do that. So they came up. Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
And I like what you said, Daniel, about creating the space, and that's what the facilitator's job is to create and hold the space for people. And I like to think that the facilitator in a space like that would be fairly neutral to people, that it wouldn't really matter to them whether that particular facilitator was there or not. As long as they feel safe in the space and they can do the practice, that's it. I would think that it would detract from a group if people were coming, oh, so-and-so is facilitating. I really, really want to be there for them, for their presence or whatever.
Yes, and if that one day, as Daniel is saying, only you show up, that consciousness is still working in creating sacred space and reaching out and doing it. You're showing up and God is showing up, and that's it. Whoever else comes is bonus. So taking away that pressure. And I think it really creates a space where people feel more comfortable actually to show up then. Because it's interesting how that pressure, whether you say it out loud or not, translates in the words you say and how people see that. And it's like too much pressure. I can't come. I can't show up. So yeah.
Yeah, that was really helpful for me. I was touched by, as a facilitator, my inner pressure that I need to bring many people. That pressure naturally permeate to the group, the space, and then they might smell the pressure. That so paradoxically blocks or prevents them from being comfortable and in coming. So it's letting go and detach from this all the pressure outcomes and being peaceful. And that's give them more freedom to come or not. That's a real safe space. So I like that awareness. Thank you for that.